Hello, Googleization Nation. Welcome to Connect and Protect, a GGG Unleashed podcast, sponsored by our partner Ivanti, who makes the everywhere workplace possible. I'm Ira Wolfe.
And I'm Jason Cochran. In each Connect and Protect episode, we will talk with Ivanti's digital employee experience thought leaders who are helping organizations worldwide connect employees and customers in our new anytime, anywhere workplaces without sacrificing security. Let's begin.
With the world of everywhere workplace, we often think that whatever happens in our backyard is happening exactly the same everywhere. But Everywhere Workplace Report clearly points out that that's not the case. So I'm really excited to have back Ivanti's Chief Operating Officer, Dennis Kozak, to talk about the 2023 Everywhere Workplace Report. Dennis, welcome back to our third in the three-part series talking about the Everywhere Workplace.
All right. So great to be back with you, Ira. Looking forward to this one.
So, we talked off camera a little bit about some things that we often think that the world looks like our backyard, but it doesn't anymore. So I know you have a lot of data. You just got back from a trip from Europe. How is this playing out outside of the U.S.?
Yeah, look, there's no question that there are regional and cultural differences across the world. And, for any global company, it's important that you consider those things and understand a little bit about the local environment, how your employees, how your customers react or respond to some of these seismic shifts in everywhere work. As an example, we talked in one of the episodes, I think it was episode 4, we talked a little bit about the stat of people quietly quitting. But here's an interesting one. Regionally, it is different. In Germany, 60% of employees admit to quietly quitting. However, in Australia, it's only 32% are quitting their jobs quietly. So, what a difference, right? Just from one geography to the other.
Yeah, for sure. Were there any other? I know you've talked about Germany, France, UK, Australia, Japan. I mean, they're very, very different cultures. Even before this everywhere workplace, were there any things that stood out between those areas?
We tend to think about it, and we've talked about in some of our other episodes how remote work or everywhere work drives increased productivity. So we say the stat in our report was 71% globally said it improves morale, being able to work anywhere. However, stark difference in Japan, only 38% C-suite people say that hybrid working has improved morale. So culturally, right, very different than the U.S. for sure, and other parts of the world as well.
Yeah, that's crazy. Again, we're so diverse, and obviously we just look beyond what we can see. And you shared this with us before, and again, this is within the U.S., but regionally, we're very, very different, as well. But your executive team is all over the place.
Yeah, very interesting stat. We may be headquartered in Salt Lake City, but we really use that as a primary meeting place to get together about once a quarter. I'm located in New York. My CEO is in Atlanta. My CFO is in Maryland. In fact, most of us are East Coast based, but we don't have any offices here. We all really adopt the everywhere workplace to the fullest extent. We use our offices though, and we get together at least monthly with employees in our regional offices to make sure that we go to them, right? We get to go see where they're working. And just as an example you referenced, I was just in Germany in our Munich office about 2 weeks back. Jeff went on, I went to a conference with a partner and customer set, but Jeff went on to the UK and our France offices to go visit employees there. And it's really important that we show up and see our employees where they work.
Yeah, I don't know who said this in the past, so I apologize to whoever I'm not giving credit to, but it was often referred that, we're talking about global and local, and we used to have local business and we had global business, but they came up with this term glocal. And I think we're absolutely, moving to that, and we're still trying to get our feet on the ground and figure it out. But one of the things that you mentioned, obviously, and we've talked about this in one of the prior episodes, is in order to collaborate is there are a lot of tools being used because there's a lot of hours each week. There's a lot of work being done that you're not necessarily in the same place. So you're using technology, and the biggest use of technology is collaboration tools. So we know organizations are investing in them, but what else are organizations investing in when it comes to IT?
No, well, so I think there's a few things. One stat we talked about some of the regional differences. The UK folks will tell you that they've seen a 35% increase in shadow IT due to remote work.
Yeah.
So what does that
What's
tell you?
shadow IT? Explain that.
So that basically means that employees are buying their own tools, their own software packages, and deploying those to do work without the permission of their corporate IT department. And so what that tells you is that some corporate IT departments are not very effective at, number one, managing what tools are used and how they access the network. And number two, not necessarily providing the right tools, the right security, the right access to their employees that they feel they have the need to go out and get their own. Right. So, that really presents a very interesting dynamic. The key for a successful IT department is to basically be invisible, right? Make it easy for your employees to connect, make it easy for them to be productive. But at the same time, still protect the company, still protect the data, still protect the assets. And that's a very fine line you have to walk in terms of providing ease, and security at the same time.
Yeah, I hope employers are listening to this, and or any leader of an organization, whether you have employees or not. But it sounds like that, and this goes into something else you measure, which is digital employee experience. Do employees have the confidence in the tools that you're providing? And pretty basic, you would think that, hey, we're looking to you to provide security, that our information's safe. But a huge number of employees don't feel that's the case, that they have to go out and buy their own cybersecurity, or our own security system.
That's right. And today's environment where the cloud, right, and SaaS-based delivery of technology makes that easier than ever. Right. It's not like you have to go in and buy, a big expensive software package and download it and install it. Right. You can literally log in online, right, to just about any service anywhere, whether it's a monitoring service, a reporting capability, another collaboration tool. If you don't like the one that your company provides, you go out and subscribe to another one, a personal edition or a corporate edition, and then go try to expense it through your corporate card. Those are all different ways that people do it. For employers and IT departments, it's incumbent upon them to provide an amazing digital experience that drives employee retention, it drives employee productivity, it drives employee morale.
Yeah. So a couple things before we wrap up. One is you just mentioned that about the digital employee experience, and I know you have a new report that recently has come out. So I suggest everybody go up to the website, and in addition to the Everywhere Workplace report, download the digital experience report that is there. So investing in the right technology, the right IT infrastructure is important for companies. Where do you believe employers should be investing their time and resources and money now?
Yeah. Well, certainly, we talked a little bit before about collaboration tools are the most obvious example because that's very outwardly facing. But it's really what's behind the scenes. What is the plumbing? What is the infrastructure and security that make those productivity tools, the collaboration tools, actually work? And that's really what's critical. That's the difference of a company being able to provide a seamless experience to their employee. The application itself, those are a dime a dozen and they're very good. They're all excellent. But it's really how they're managed and how they're deployed by a company. So, you have to be able to access, you have to be able to provide access securely. You have to be able to monitor what types of activity are happening on your network. You have to be able to secure it. You have to be able to patch it, and you have to be able to service it when you do have an issue. And that's what Ivanti really brings to the table with its investment thesis in technology, is to make sure that we really round the entire spectrum to make sure we can help the IT function and enable everywhere work.
And I know we talked about this last time, and this is the final question. AI, it's all around us. So I think you mentioned prior to this that it's going to that you're going to be able to use AI to help predict, forecast, manage, improve the security and just overall experience. But there's some real dangers. Where are we headed with that?
That's right. Yeah, listen, AI is everywhere. It's unavoidable, right? It will show up in everything we do. Think about on your smartphone. There's lots of AI in there already. The key is to making sure it's done responsibly and it's done for good, not for bad actors. And we're going to have to contend with that. And so we're going to have to make sure that we're always aware of what's a good use of AI and what's a poor use of AI.
And I know we're just around the corner with AI and some of the changes there. We talk about that all the time, but just nipping at our heels is the metaverse, is the blockchain. If people think that's far out, it's not. It's encroaching upon us, very, very quickly.
So it's much further in our lives than most people realize.
Yeah, absolutely. Dennis, it's been an absolute pleasure. We're in the third of a 3-part series, and we're talking about our global and local impact of the everywhere workplace, of how different countries, different regions are viewing that, and some are succeeding and some are struggling in it. But I encourage everyone to go back and listen to our episode 4 and 5 too, where we talk a little bit more about the employees' viewpoints and perspective of the everywhere workplace, and then also a little bit deeper dive into the IT infrastructure. Again, it's been a pleasure, Dennis. Thank you very much. And for everyone else listening, this is part of the GGG Unleashed to Protect and Connect series from Ivanti. Until next time, don't let the shift hit your plans.
That's it for today's episode. Thank you for tuning in and learning how to stay connected and protected in the everywhere workplace. We'll be back next month with another episode of Connect and Protect. But until then, you can learn more about Ivanti and the everywhere workplace by visiting their website, ivanti.com. Until next month, don't let the shift hit your plans.